Hey y'all, hey. Gonna give you guys a second as always to come on in the room to see who can join me. If no one joins me, I will continue and you guys can hopefully catch the replay. Yeah, as you guys come on in the room, let me know that you are here and I will get started momentarily. I see some people joining. Let me know you're here. Hey, Star. Hey, sis. Hey, Nissy. Hey, Tharonda. Hey, y'all. Y'all are in here. I love it. How y'all doing? I pray everybody is well. As you guys come in, let me know you are here. And I am getting started. Lisa Shepherd. Mama Lisa, I miss you. Mwah. I miss you. Hey, Donnie. I don't even do no snatching. See? I don't even do all that. I just... Okay. Hey, Naisha. Hey, y'all. Hey. All right. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get started. Greetings, my loves. My name is Jasmine Brantley of Inspire Me Jazzy, as well as the fabulous ladies of Inspire Me Jazzy. And I am back before you once again as we continue this amazing yet extremely challenging journey to health and wholeness through our Bible reading plan entitled, Do You Want to Be Made Whole? We are on day 17 of the plan, which means that I am coming before you to share my feedback concerning day 16. But before I do so, I absolutely have to take a moment to say thank you to the amazing men and women who joined us for Bible study on last night. As we dealt with day 15, a huge shout out to our leadership team. Most of them are below in the comments as of right now. I absolutely love each and every one of you, and I'm so grateful for all that you do both publicly and privately concerning this ministry. It is truly a pleasure and a privilege to serve the people of God alongside the likes of you. So again, I appreciate you. I love you, and I bless the name of the Lord for the gift that is you. Now, with that being said, listen to me. If you are watching this and you have not gotten the opportunity to join us for Bible study, I strongly encourage you to do so, because it's one thing to join me for these live breakdowns, but Bible study takes things to a completely different level. So as you all receive the opportunity to engage and share and receive from more than just me, to connect with amazing men and women of God from all different walks of life, from various age groups, various ethnicities, who play various roles and wear various hats within society, there is nothing like it. But for me, the best thing about it is when we show up, God shows up. And to see the Spirit of God move in this space and place in the lives and homes of people across the nation at the exact same time, consistently, it is absolutely beautiful. So again, if you have not joined us and your schedule permits, I humbly request that you consider joining us for Bible study, as we are hosting these calls every single Monday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, and we would absolutely love to have you. But on that note, let's get into the swing of things as we are dealing with day 16's assigned reading entitled, Restored as Whole as the Other, coming from the book of Luke, chapter 6, verses 6 through 11, and we are going to be reading from the New King James Version. And it reads as follows. Now it happened on another Sabbath also that he entered the synagogue and taught. And a man was there whose right hand was withered. So the scribes and Pharisees watched him closely, whether he would heal on the Sabbath, that they might find an accusation against him. But he knew their thoughts, and said to the man who had the withered hand, "Arise and stand here." And he arose and stood. Then Jesus said to them, "I will ask you one thing. Is it lawful on the Sabbath to do good or to do evil? To save life or to destroy?" And when he had looked around at them all, he said to the man, "Stretch out your hand." And he did so, and his hand was restored as whole as the other. But they were filled with rage and discussed with one another what they might do to Jesus. Okay, so let's deal with this, right? Just so we're clear, up to this point in scripture, Jesus has been on the move. He has been traveling, teaching, and healing all kinds of sickness and disease. He has been dealing with those who were afflicted with pain, those who were tormented mentally and or physically, those who were demon possessed, which literally means that they were under the power of a demon. He has been dealing with those who had epilepsy, paralysis, and disabilities of various kinds. Hear me, from rebuking of fever to healing leprosy to casting out demons. Jesus has done it at this point, okay? So his name is getting out there, but you have a group of people that are simply trying to get to him because they need something from him. And then you have a group of people who aren't really pleased with how he is moving and what he is saying. So they are showing up just like everybody else, but they have a different agenda. While one group is looking to experience him, another group is looking for reasons to eliminate him. Hear me. And that alone will speak volumes within itself, because it says you can be in the same atmosphere as Jesus. But depending on what's in your heart concerning Jesus, you can leave angry while someone else leaves whole. You can find fault in him while someone else experiences being loved on by him. You can leave the same way you came while someone else's life will never be the same. Same Jesus, same power, different hearts. And I'm going to leave that alone and keep it moving back to the text. So hear me. The Sabbath day was a day that was set apart and declared to be holy by God. It was a day where the people of God were to abstain from work, from labor. It was a day of rest. It was a day that was blessed by God and important to God. So you have Jesus entering into the synagogue on a Sabbath day, their place of worship, and he is teaching in the synagogue, teaching in the church. However, in the church, there is a man who has a withered hand. The word withered in the Hebrew speaks to members of the body that have been deprived of their natural juices, resulting in the shrinkage or wasting away of that particular member of the body. So you have a part of the body that is not getting what it needs, which is causing that part of the body not to operate or appear as it was initially created to operate. It's wasting away. It's losing strength. It's losing ability, losing function, right? And I don't want you to just think about this physically, because for some of you, there are pieces of you, parts of you that are wasting away. There's a part of you that is not functioning the way it was created to function. There is a part of you that is not getting what it needs to stay healthy, to maintain strength. There is a part of you that is weak, that is lacking, that is drying up, right? So this is just like you showing up in church with an issue that can't be seen by everyone, at least depending on where they're sitting. Hear me, if I'm sitting on this man's left side, I'm unaware of his issue. I can't really see the part of him that is drying up, wasting away, failing to function as it was created to function. All I see is his good side. And some of us, because we don't have a physical issue, we show up just like this in church. We show up at work, we show up for our families, and all that is seen is our good side. We show off what is right, what looks good, what is functioning properly, but they fail to see that there are pieces of us that are withering away, drying up. Let's keep it moving. Jesus is in the church. A man who is identified by his condition and not his name is in the church. And then the text tells us that there are some scribes and Pharisees who are in the church. So you have a group of people identified by their titles, by what they do, by what they know, not necessarily by who they are. Honey, you couldn't tell this group of religious leaders nothing about scripture or God. They knew what they knew. They were who they were. They said what they said. And if you begin to move in a way or speak in a way that they were uncomfortable with, you were going to feel it. So they are literally in church and they're watching, observing, looking at Jesus, looking to see if Jesus is going to heal on the Sabbath, so that they can accuse him of breaking the law, of disregarding the instruction of God. Now, this speaks volumes within itself, because this says that the people of God saw doing the work of God, tending to the issues of God's people as work. Work that should not be done on the Sabbath day, on this day of rest, this day of worship, this day that was supposed to be set apart to God. This says that the people of God felt that they were more knowledgeable concerning what God meant in his word than the Son of God. Hear me, God says, do no work on the Sabbath. So the question actually becomes, what does work look like for you? Their view of work determined their interpretation of what God said. So for me, the question becomes, what have we interpreted wrong based off of our view of something? What have we failed to get right because we simply saw it wrong? We have to realize that the way that we see things becomes tainted by the experiences that we have with them. So could it be that God was clear with what he said? You were just unclear about what it meant. Could it be that he absolutely spoke this, you just interpreted it wrong based off of your experience with it? Could it be that he actually spoke that, but you were completely in the dark concerning what that entailed? So you have made the choice to add to it in an attempt to explain it. You've run with it, you've declared it, you've held others to that same standard when ultimately you heard it right, you just viewed it wrong. Hear me, some of us are mad at God about certain things that he spoke, not realizing that we interpreted what he said incorrectly. We have trusted too much in our ability to see clearly, not even acknowledging that our vision can be blurry based off of pain, ignorance, and experience. What have we failed to get right because we failed to see it wrong? Because we have seen it wrong, What have we failed to get right because we've seen it wrong? Back to the text. Despite the presence of the scribes and the Pharisees, despite the fact that he knew why they were there and what they were thinking, he says to the man, "Arise and stand here." And he arose and stood. Now this ministered to me because the Hebrew word here literally speaks to standing in the middle, in the midst of. So Jesus calls this man out of his comfortable seat, where his issue may have been hidden to some, to now stand front and center. And I just began to wonder if I would have gotten up. Like, we know he is about to get healed, right? But did he know that? We know what's next because we're reading it, but did he know what was next? Let me ask you this. When Jesus calls you from an uncomfortable place, do you move with a sense of urgency? When Jesus calls you into a place where your issues could possibly be exposed to more people, to religious leaders at that, to people with titles and experience, do you move with a sense of urgency? When Jesus calls you to step up and stand when you have no idea what is on the other side of your obedience, do you do so with the quickness? Hear me, if you were this man, would you have missed out on an opportunity to receive restoration in an area of your life that was wasting away because you were too scared to move? Too scared to be exposed? Too scared of the unknown? Too scared of failing? Too scared of the uncomfortable? Jesus says, arise and stand here. But don't miss this, because immediately after the man stands up, After the man operates in obedience, Jesus has the nerve to turn his attention elsewhere. Hear me. He begins addressing the scribes and the Pharisees. Wait, God, you just told me to step out here and then you turn over there? What happens when you obey God and nothing happens? You hear nothing else from him. You see no change in your circumstance. You see no change in your condition. You are just out there, exposed, uncomfortable. And his attention seems to be elsewhere. Hear me. Jesus is addressing them, looking at them, waiting on a response from them. And this man is simply standing in the midst of them in the exact same condition that he was in before. Can I encourage you today? Don't give up here. Don't sit down here. Don't walk away from God here. I know you obey God and your situation hasn't changed, but all eyes are about to be on you in a minute. I know it seems like his attention is elsewhere, but maybe he is just checking the atmosphere for the miracle that is about to manifest in your life. Maybe, just maybe, he is just giving them an opportunity to respond to him appropriately, to see things differently, to get in alignment with him accordingly. But hear me clearly, whether they do so or not, I need you to be clear on one thing. The atmosphere isn't going to stop your miracle. Your restoration, your healing, your wholeness is coming whether they like it or not. Back to the text, and I'm almost done. When they failed to respond to him, Jesus turns his attention back to the man and instructs him to stretch out his hand. Pause. I got a problem with this. Can I be honest? To stretch something is to cause something to reach its full length. But if my arm is withered, if it's shriveled up, if it's wasting away, Jesus, you know I can't do that. There is no way I can do what you're asking me to do. And for some of you, this is where you are. There is no way I can do what you're requiring of me in order to heal. Like, there's no way I can do this. I haven't done this. I haven't been able to do this. This is hard for me. It's impossible. I can't, Jesus. But don't miss what the text says. The text says, and he did so, and his hand was restored as whole as the other. Could it be that Jesus simply desired him to do what he could so that he could do what he couldn't? Hear me, Jesus didn't touch this man. He simply instructed this man. Could it be that your miracle is in the stretch? As you operate in obedience to his word in the impossible, in the uncomfortable, in the unfamiliar, despite the unknown, God is going to make you whole in the stretch. Do what you can do and watch him do what you can't. May God bless and keep each and every one of you. If you have not shared concerning day 16's assigned reading and you feel led to do so after watching this video, please share your thoughts in the forum and or below. I would absolutely love to hear them. Until next time, I love you all to life and I wish you a fabulous